What is up, golf fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Press Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Hartman, on this Wednesday, almost forgot what day it was, Wednesday podcast, getting you ready for the upcoming tournament in this case, the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. This is a weird one. It's a unique one. It's an outlier, we'll put it that way, which makes it very difficult to set those picks. But, as we always say, we got to take a look back before we take a look forward. And let's take a look at the RBC Heritage, Harbortown Golf Links. We remember the odds. Scotty Scheffler was the odds-on favorite, plus 380. Xander Schauffele, plus 1,500. Matt Fitzpatrick, plus 1,650. Russell Henley, plus 1,750. And Cameron Young at plus 1,800. Now, I felt pretty good about my picks heading into this signature event, but my picks did not pan out the way that I thought. Let's take a look at what happened. So we took Scotty Scheffler as our favorite. He got to a playoff with Matt Fitzpatrick, and he lost. So he finished his second place. That does not cash. Now, my long shot at Jake Knapp, who had been playing great golf leading into this tournament at plus 3,500, finished tied for 74th. That was one of the worst finishes in the field. So clearly that does not cash for us either. Top five, took Xander Schauffele at plus 265. He finishes tied for 12th, so that doesn't hit. But we do have a winner. Ludwig Oberg at plus 375 to finish in the top five. He finishes tied for fourth. It got a little sketchy down the stretch with Ludwig, but still plus 375 cashes. We get a winner in the top eight. Top 10, I took Russell Henley at plus 138. He finishes tied for 25th. Tommy Fleetwood at plus 142. He finishes tied for 52nd, so not a great tournament for those two players. Top 20, I doubled down with Jake Knapp as a top 20 play. He finishes tied for 74th, as I already said. Ben Griffin, who's been tough to predict this year, plus 130. He finishes tied for 33rd. So not too bad, but still not the top 20. So in the top eight, those picks that we care about the most, only 1 out of 8, but we still had a winner in Ludwig Oberg as a top 5. So our streak continues. I don't even know how far back it goes, but still, we are still on that streak. Now, bonus plays. We did have a bonus play hit. We took a double play of Scotty or Xander to win. That doesn't cash. Group L, the Gary Woodland, man, I was following this, and I thought this was a first sure hit. He started out at the tournament very, very hot, had a very cold Saturday, came back on Sunday, but it wasn't enough. He does not win that group, so that doesn't cash. The margin of victory, 2 shots. At one point, it looked like this was a gimme, a layup, and it doesn't happen. It's a 1-shot victory for Matt Fitzpatrick in a playoff. But the one that hit, I took Keegan Bradley as a top 30. He ended up finishing top 20, so that cashes at plus 125. So unfortunately, only one winner in both the top 8 and then the bonus plays, but still, we had a winner. So we're going to continue on as we now look towards that quirky little tournament, that Zurich Classic of New Orleans at TPC, Louisiana. This golf course is a par 72, 7,425 yards in length. And remember, folks, this is a team event. This is not individual. This is not an event where all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm just going to take this one player. This is a tournament where you have to try and figure out who is going to play well together. So I have a theory on this. I don't know. It worked last year, but I'm not sure if it's going to work this year. First, let's talk about the format. The format for this golf tournament in rounds 1 and 3, if they make the cut, because there is a cut line, the top 33 teams make it to the weekend. If the team makes the cut, rounds 1 through 3, they are playing 4-ball, which is just your best ball. Everyone plays their own ball. You take the best score of the 2. That's your score for that hole. In rounds 2 and 4, they play alternating shots. So this is where they're using only one golf ball. And it's screw your buddy. That's what we always used to call it growing up in Wheeling, West Virginia. Actually, we used a different term than screw, but still you understand what I'm saying. So rounds 1 through 3, 4-ball, rounds 2 for 4 alternating shot, very much like a Ryder Cup type feel. And yes, and remember, there is a cut line. So let's take a look at some past winners. So last year, we saw Andrew Novak and Ben Griffin win. It was Novak's first PGA Tour win. And some people said, is it really a win? But it does. It counts. Novak and Griffin win last year. In 2024, Shane Lowry and Rory McIlroy won. 2023, Nick Hardy and Davis Riley. And in 2022, Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele won. So in the last 4 years, there has not been a repeat champion. And a lot of times is because a lot of players just don't play in this tournament. They just skip it. And so when you're looking at the odds, there are man, there's a lot of players that you're like, who are these people? I mean, yes, they have PGA Tour status, but you're just not used to seeing those names. So let's take a look at the odds-on favorites to win this tournament. The Fitzpatrick brothers. That's right, Matt Fitzpatrick, who's coming off his win at RBC Heritage, and his brother are playing. They are the odds-on favorite, plus 1,175. The most interesting duo is Brooks Koepka and Shane Lowry at plus 1,550. That's definitely interesting. Gerard and I don't even know how to say this gentleman's name, Yelamaru, plus 1,750. Novak and Griffin, who won it last year, plus 1,850. And Thorne Bjornsson and Philip Willips is plus 1,950 in terms of odds. So I'm going to tell you right now, there's no bonus plays. This tournament, at least on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, which is what I use to kind of base all my picks off of, they don't really have bonus plays for this tournament. It's difficult. You're not going to have a lot of parlays. You could parlay stuff together, but still, it's an odd tournament. We're just going to put it that way. So here we go. We're just doing top 5, top 10, and top 20 for this week. Top 5. I'm going to go with Novak and Griffin at plus 305 odds to find their way into the top 5. They won it last year. That tells me one thing. They are comfortable playing together. That's really important here. And you'll understand in a second when I'll go to, I'm sorry, I forgot our straight out or all right. Let's talk about the outright winner first. I'm going to take the Fitzpatrick brothers to be the favorite to win, plus 1,175. And I just talked about how you got to be comfortable golfing together. I will always go with brothers to play well in this tournament. I think back with my own brother and how when we played it in golf tournaments, we typically do well. And it's because we have a comfort level. We are used to what the other's strengths and weaknesses are. We don't have to shy away from maybe saying something to one another about, yeah, you don't have that shot. It is different altogether. If you have a brother, you know what I'm talking about. And so I always go towards brothers in this tournament. So the Fitzpatricks are my favorites. They're the odds-on favorite, but I like them to win plus 1,175. And Matt Fitzpatrick's playing some great golf this year. The long shot, I'm going to go with Aaron Rai and Sahith Theegala at plus 2,150. Just call it a hunch. Sahith has not been playing great golf. Aaron Rai has. If Sahith Theegala can just contribute a little bit, maybe they have a shot. Now, top 5, I've already mentioned that I'm going with Novak and Griffin in the top 5 at plus 305. I think that, again, they've won it last year. They're comfortable with one another. They know how to play in the same groupings together. I'm going to go with them as top 5. I'm also going to go with the Fitzpatricks at plus 210 to be in the top 5. For all the reasons that I said, for them being my favorite pick. Now, let's go top 10. I'm going to go, this is honestly one of the most unique pairings, Brooks Koepka and Shane Lowry. The combustible Shane Lowry, although he won it 2 years ago. And Brooks Koepka, and I go back to when I watched I think it was called Inside the Ropes or Chasing Sunday is what it was called. It was the scene where Akshay was in the group with Brooks Koepka, and he noticed that Brooks Koepka didn't carry a yardage book. And he said, hey, man, like, you don't carry a yardage book? And Brooks Koepka looked at him and said, no. There was nothing. Like, there was no, nah, man, yeah, I don't feel the need for it. You know, like, hey, to each their own, but I trust my caddy. He just said no. Doesn't seem like the friendliest guy. We'll put it that way. And so he and Lowry together, they're great golfers. I've got them in the top 10 plus 126, but man, can we mic these guys up? I would love to hear that. That would be a lot of fun. I'm also going to go with Aaron Rai and Sahith Theegala top 10 plus 158. Call it a hunch. I think these two are going to have a decent tournament. And so there you have top 10, Brooks Koepka and Shane Lowry, and then Aaron Rai and Sahith Theegala. So top 20 is the final picks of this tournament. I'm going to go with Smotherman and Putnam at plus 106. And Austin Smotherman, boy, what a roller coaster he's had in terms of a season, but he's capable. We'll put it that way. And then let's go with plus 142, Billy Horschel and Tom Hoge to find their way into the top 20. Remember, only 33 teams make it to the weekend. So if they can make the cut, there is a strong opportunity to finish in the top 20. And again, no bonus plays this week because really, this is a unique tournament. We're only going to focus on the top 5, top 10, top 20, and the outright winners. So again, to recap those, because I messed up and did everything out of order. Outright picks, I'm going to go with the Fitzpatricks as my favorite. Long shot, let's go Aaron Rai, Sahith Theegala. Top 5, Novak and Griffin and the Fitzpatricks. Top 10, Koepka and Lowry, also Aaron Ryan Thigala, top 20 Smotherman and Putnam, and Horschel and Hoagie. All right, I'll be back tomorrow with our mixtape for the month of April with my buddy Dan from Leave the Pin. Make sure you check that out. If you missed yesterday's podcast about if Live Golf disappeared, would anyone miss it? I think most of us know the answer to that, but still, if you want to check that out, be sure to do so. But we finish up. Be safe, be kind, and God bless. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy.